Hello, I'm Sally. I'm a Pilates instructor and personal trainer, and I'm going to take you through a quick exercise routine here which will give you a whole body workout using very little equipment. All you're going to need is yourself, a chair, preferably a hard, sturdy-ish chair if possible, and a TheraBand or stretchy band like this one. Also going to use a mini band in this workout, which is basically the same thing, but it's smaller and circular in shape. If you don't have a mini band, don't worry, you can just tie a knot in your long band. So, as with all exercise, the responsibility is on you to look after yourself. We are working on the assumption here that you're fit and well and able to participate in some moderate exercise. If you're not sure if that's you, then please do stop and check with your doctor before you proceed. However, if you're still with me, we're going to start by getting warmed up. We're going to get the blood flowing a little bit, maybe raise your heart rate and get you a little bit warmer than you are right now. We're going to start off super simple, we're just walking on the spot. Keep it nice and small. So as you can see, I'm just in my socks today because I'm demonstrating this one from a living room. But you can put trainers on if you're more comfortable to do that, or you can work in bare feet as well. It really depends where you are. We're going to start getting those arms swinging just a little bit. Nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And again in through your nose, out through your mouth. Lovely. We're going to reach the arms out to the side. Keep walking with those feet and close them back down again. Big reach up and open. Really stretch. Reach as far to the side as you can, as far up as you can. And again, reach it up and out. We're going to take the feet a little bit wider. Bend in both knees. We're going to reach up and punch a very, very tall opponent who's up above your head. Down we go and over the other side. In and punch and in and punch. So, big reach. We're kind of stretching here, getting the joints moving as well as getting the heart rate up. This time, bend into the middle and we're going to punch across the body over to the side. Back in we come and punch and in and out. Lovely. Try and make it nice and precise if you can. Speedy movements, going to get the heart rate really going. Lovely. Couple more here. And now back to 2 feet. Bend those knees a little bit. We're going for some uppercuts, so straight under the chin of someone in front of you. Keep those knees bent. Keep looking straight ahead. Let's speed it up a little bit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lovely. Let's come back to marching. So hopefully you're starting to notice a difference already. We're just going to run through those movements one more time. So breathing in, reaching up and overhead, and lovely big stretch. Enjoy opening up the front of the body there. And one more. And out we go. Legs nice and wide. Very tall opponent. Reach up and across. Bend those knees every time. The more of a knee bend you get, the more warm you're going to get too. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now we're punching across the body. Big reach. Keep bending those knees. And a 4, 3, 2, 1. Into the centre. 2 bent legs. Uppercuts. Straight to the chin. So lots of tension in those arms. Keep them nice and strong. Keep those knees bent. We're going to speed it up a little bit. One side to the other. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lovely. Let's just walk it out for a second. Let those arms hang down by your sides. Fantastic. So we should be getting the blood's moving a little bit more around the body. We're going to warm up the legs a little bit now. We're going to use your chair for this one. So we're going to stand with 2 feet hip distance. So make sure that they're nice and lined up. You might find you like to stand with your toes facing outwards, or one way and one the other. So this is your chance to get them nice and lined up here. We're going to put the hands to the hips. We're going to take a bend, stick your bum out, reaching back until hopefully we find that chair. Now, if you can, we're going to do this without using your hands. We're going to press back down, squeeze the bottom muscles and stand back up again. If you need to use your hands as a little bit of help, then obviously do. We'll aim to progress to no hands as time goes on. So back we go. Right, once we're here, let's have a little check of the position that you're in. You want to make sure that your knees are pointing in the same direction as your toes. You might find that they've wanted to cave in and your knees are now closer together than your feet. So have a little check and make sure the knees are pointing straight forwards in two parallel lines, just like your feet. Back up we come. Down we go. One more thing to check. We want to make sure that the knees have not pushed themselves too far forwards. What we don't want to do is end up with the feet really far back and the knees way in front of them. If that's happened, then just adjust yourself, move your feet forwards a little bit so that your knees are kind of lined up with the front of your feet here. Squeeze those glutes, up we can. So we're going to take a few more. Down and up. If you really want to challenge yourself, try just hovering off the chair so you don't quite sit down. That way you get no rest at all. If we're feeling good doing this one, we can add on an arm sweep. We're going to reach in front and stand back up again. We've just got another 4. Up we come. And a 3. And a 2. This time we're going to sit down. Let those arms drop and actually sit onto your chair. Just take a little head tilt, ear to shoulder, one way and the other. Nice and relaxed. We're going to tuck the head, chin to chest, and then just stretch the chin up to the ceiling a little bit. Try not to drop your head all the way back. Instead, we just feel like it's a little lift under the chin. Nod the head, lift the chin. Nod the head, lift the chin. This time we're just going to have a little look one way and the other. Nice and easy. Back into the centre and we'll roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders forwards. 2 bent elbows, arms in front. We're just going to gently open the chest by feeling as if someone's squeezing your elbows behind you. 3, 2, 1. So now we're warmed up, we're going to move on to our first set of resistance exercises. So to start off with, we're going to grab your long band and find the middle. It's always key. Mine's got a nice stripe in the middle, which is very handy for me, but if not, fold it in half. We're going to pop the middle down onto the floor and then we're going to stand 2 feet onto it. Make sure they're hip distance again, facing forwards. We're going to hold the band towards the ends of it here. And then we're going to stand on up, keeping the knees bent, hovering that bottom off the chair. Nice long back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. So we're holding on to the band in 2 hands. We're going to draw the elbows up behind us. So we're trying to get a nice lift, elbows nice and close into the body. Then we're going to extend back down to the floor again. Now if that was really easy, then just get a little less band. So move your hands a bit closer to your feet down the band. If it was really hard, then give yourself a little bit more band to play with instead. So keep that back nice and long. Think about drawing the belly button to the spine, so nice strong core. And we're looking down at the floor in front of us. We're going to go for 10 here. Draw those elbows up and up. And 2. Down we go. Good. So think about a nice long neck. Keep the back long as well, it's tempting to round the shoulders. 5. Down we go. So keeping everything else nice and still, it's just the arms that are moving. 7. 8. Well done, we're nearly there. 9. Elbows close to the body, remember. Last one for 10. And release. So we're coming back down to sit. We're going to take one foot off, put the other foot into the centre of the band here. I'm going to hold the band quite loosely for this next one. We're going to extend the leg so that it goes straight. So just up into a straight line, band's loose. The work is all being done with my leg here. Then I'm going to slowly lower it, foot comes back down to the floor. Extends on up. We want to make sure this knee gets all the way to straight, so engage the thigh, draw up the kneecap, and then release. And 3, and down. Beautiful. So check your posture. We want to be sitting up nice and straight as we do this one. If you find that it's a bit too much of a stretch for your leg here, you can lean back a bit more in the chair to give yourself a little bit more space to extend the leg in front. We've got another 3 here, 3, down here, and 2, last one. Lovely. Okay, so now we're going to extend this leg out in front. We're going to walk the hands down so we're holding the band not too far away from the foot. Shuffle yourself forward a little bit on your chair if you need to, because we're going to lean on back and we're going to row here. So draw those elbows back, shoulder blades together, and release. And 2. In we come. So I've still got a nice long back, leaning back a little bit but haven't rounded the shoulders. Still keep thinking about belly button to spine, looking straight ahead, keep that neck nice and long. Three, and 2, last one. Fabulous. So we're going to put that foot back down to the floor. We're going back to 2 feet, so get yourself spread out again with feet hip distance apart. We're going to stand up from here and we're going to go for a biceps curl now. So let's get the body nice and lined up to begin with. Nice straight spine, straight back. Notice if your pelvis is doing anything in particular, and instead try and get yourself really lined on it. So we're going to have the hands facing forwards for this one. We're going to draw the belly button to the spine, squeeze the bottom muscles, and then bend at the elbows, trying to draw the hands up towards the shoulders, and release. So again, if that was really easy, give yourself a bit less band. If it was really hard, give yourself a little bit more band. And up. If your band's a little bit short to do this one with both hands at once, then just do one arm for now. Slide that band through, and then when we come round to it again, do the other arm. So check that posture, still up straight and tall. Elbows are staying close into your sides all the time. Don't let them go forwards or back. 3, and a 2, last one, and we release. Fabulous. So this next one, we're going to let the band slide through a little bit. I'm going to draw it on through so that I've got plenty on one side. We're going to just do this with one arm. So if your band was a bit short for the biceps curl, you could have done it like this as well here. So this time we're going to hold it with the palm facing in towards the leg. Feet hip distance. One more time we're going to think about that posture, lengthening. Nice strong core. Roll the shoulders up and back, looking straight ahead. We're going to lift the arm to the side and lowers. So again, if it was easy, a bit less band. If it was hard, a little bit more. We want to be able to feel it, but we also want to be able to do 10 repetitions. That's what we're aiming for here. 4. Good job. Keep looking straight ahead. So look how I'm holding my posture here. What we want to avoid is tipping, tilting. I'm a little teapotting. Instead, try and keep those shoulders level, hips level. Harder than it looks. We've got another 3 and a 2. Last one. Down we go. Fantastic. Right, so time to do that with the other side. So back down to the mat, to the chair we'll come. You can tell I'm a Pilates instructor. Just used to say mat all the time. Feet hip distance. We're coming from our bent row to begin with. So feet hip distance, standing up, bent knees, leaning forwards, long straight back. Squeezing those elbows up and back. And we lower. And a 2. Down we go. Make it a nice squeezy movement. Nothing too sudden. Keep the belly button to the spine. Strong core. Don't drop the head. 8. We're nearly there. 9. And 10. Back down we go to the chair. So over to the other leg for your leg extensions. We put the band under the foot, hold it loosely. We just extend the leg in front, heel back to the floor. And extends and down. Make it nice and squeezy again. Really smooth. Really extending the knee every time. Make sure it gets fully straight at the top. Remember, you could lean back here if it was a bit too much stretch for the back of your leg. And an 8. And a 9. And 10. Lovely. So shuffle forwards a little bit if you need to. We're going to row now. Leg out in front. Hold on a little bit closer to that foot. Leaning the body back but keeping the spine long. We draw them in and extend. 2. And 4. Keep that spine long. Keep looking straight ahead. Don't forget to breathe, that's the other thing I haven't mentioned yet. 2 more here. Last one. Here we come. So we're standing on 2 feet again. Get it back into the centre. Hip distance, standing on up. Palms facing forwards. Elbows stay close to the sides. We biceps curl up and lower. So posture. Brace that core. Squeeze the bum cheeks. Make sure you're stood on 2 feet evenly. Looking straight ahead. Nice low shoulders. Breathing, breathing. 8. And a 9. Last one for 10. And we lower. So now we've got a lateral raise with the other arm. So we're going to slide the band on through. This time we're holding it with the palm in towards the leg. On 2 feet again, hip distance, core strong, squeeze those glutes. We lift to the side and we lower. So don't let those shoulders tip. Don't let that spine start to bend. Instead, imagine you've got a string lifting you up towards the ceiling like a puppet. That spine stays straight and tall throughout. Halfway there, 5, and you lower. And 4, remember, you can always change the resistance by holding the band closer or further away from your foot. 3, 2, you might have done an extra one on this side, never mind. Last one, and we lower it back down again. Fabulous, really well done, that section is done. So now we're on to our third section. We've got a little bit more work for the lower body, the abdominals, and then a little cool down and relax at the end. So for this next bit, I'm going to use my mini band, but remember, if you don't have one, you can just use your long band and tie a double knot in it so that it's roughly about this big. So once we have that ready, we're going to pop it on over your feet and just put it so that it's at ankle height here. Easiest to do this while you're still sat on your chair. So once we're ready here, we're going to stand on up and we're going to have to really think again about this alignment of the knees over the toes. So take a little bend and make sure that we haven't let the knees cave in, but we're keeping them nice and outwards here. So we're going to kind of sit halfway down to the chair here. Down we go. Long spine, belly button pulls on in. So we're going to take one foot out to the side. This one hasn't moved. My knee is still facing forwards. It taps and it comes back in again. Feet are now hip distance apart. Now the other one's going to go out to the side. Tap, in it comes. Now I'm going to sit down, hover just off the chair, and stand back up again. Back to the first leg. It comes out to tap, and in, tap, and in. We sit, and up we come. So double check again. Knees are over toes. We tap, don't let this knee move. And in, tap, and in. We sit, and up we come. Hold that belly button to spine. Tap, and in, tap, and we sit, and stand. Really well done. We've got one more here. Tap, and in. We sit, and we're going to stay here for a moment. Have a little second to take a breather. So of course this is going to be a little bit different depending on how strong your mini band or TheraBand is, come in different weights. If you've got a super strong one, you might find you're not tapping quite as far out to the side as me, or if you've got one that's a little bit stretchier, it might be easier and you can do a bit of a bigger tap. So you'll just have to adapt to find someone that feels like it's challenging you, but that you can still go ahead and do the movement without compromising on your alignment. We've got another round of these to go. Hands to hips, up we go. So we're sat sort of halfway down to the chair, knees over toes, core pulled in, nice long spine. We tap and in, tap and in, hover and stand. Off we go. Tap and in, tap and in, hover and stand. We've got 3 left. Tap and in, tap and in, hover. Try and be symmetrical. Don't tap further with one side or the other. Keep those knees bent even as we're getting tired. Last one. Tap and in, tap and in. We bend and we can stay there this time. Good job. Whew. Take that band off your feet, but keep it with you. We're going to come down now to lying on your mat. So if you don't have a mat, then don't worry. You can just do this on your carpet, on a rug, if you've got a hard floor, or just lay a towel down. It really doesn't matter. It's just there to make you comfortable. So you're going to come all the way down to lying on your back. Just get down however is easiest for you. And we're going to use that band again, either your mini band or your TheraBand with a knot in it. This time you're going to put both hands into the band, palms facing together so you would be able to clap. Your band is going to be where your watch would be if you were wearing one, so we've got it just over the wrists here. So get yourself into a nice long line on the floor, nice straight back. We're going to first of all feel as if you've got a tangerine between your shoulder blades and you're going to squeeze it. So shoulders come up, back and around, squeezing the tangerine between the shoulder blades. So we've got the elbows just by the sides tucked in here. What we're going to do now is squeeze your wrists out away from each other into the band until you can feel it in your arms. You'll know what I mean when you do it. Now we're going to bend the elbows so that the thumbs come towards the shoulders. And now we're going to extend them, little fingers towards the knees. I'm still squeezing my wrists open into the band. Bend, thumbs to shoulders, extend, little fingers to knees. So keep that squeeze the whole time. You're in charge. The more you try and open your arms, the harder it's going to be. So find the right place for you. Keep the elbows tucked in. We're nearly there. Last one for 10. And we're done. Let's remove that band for a moment. So fingertips behind the head. We're going to take a curl up here. We're going to do a Pilates curl up. Probably something you've seen before, but we take them nice and slow and controlled in Pilates. So we start off by squeezing the belly button to the spine, slightly tucking chin to chest. Now your fingers are here just to help to support your head. Make sure you're not pulling on your neck. They're just there as a little bit of a rest for the head here. Now we keep squeezing those abdominal muscles, contracting, drawing in, trying to raise ourselves up so that maybe the shoulder blades are off the floor, and back down we go. Now you might not be coming quite as high up just yet. That's okay. That's what we're going to work on and build on. So breathing out to curl up as high as we can, maybe shoulder blades off the floor, breathing in to lower back down. Out to curl up, into lower back down. So it's all about control here. Make sure that the way down is just as smooth and controlled as the way up. Lovely job. We've just got 3 more to go. 3. And we lower. Keep that belly button to spine. Keep that nice strong contraction in the abdominals. Last 1. Down we go. Let's grab the mini band. We're putting it back onto where it was before, onto the wrists. Hands are facing in towards each other. Squeeze the tangerine between your shoulder blades. Elbows tucked in towards the sides. We extend knees, fingers to the knees, thumbs to the elbows. Keep opening those arms into the band. Keep those shoulder blades squeezing that imaginary tangerine. So much harder than it looks, this one. We're nearly there. We've only got 3 left to go. Keep squeezing. A 3 and a 2. Last one. In it comes. Oh, and with relief we can take that band off for a moment. We're going to come to sit up now, so just bring yourself up however's comfortable. So we can take a little bow and arrow exercise here. We're going to sit up tall with 2 feet on the floor. We're holding the hands out in front. This one's got my bow in, this one's got the bowstring. So I'm going to curve into my back as if I was going to roll back down to the floor. As I do it, I'm going to draw back this elbow as if I was pulling my bowstring. I'm going to look down towards the elbow as well, rotating. So have a look here, my shoulders have really opened out to the side. I'm trying to squeeze this elbow as far back as I possibly can. Now I'm going to sit on back up again. I'm going to take it the other way this time, so back curves as if you were going to do a backwards roll to the mat. Now we draw back that bowstring, squeeze the elbow back into a big rotation. Back up we come. And again, down we go. And we return, and back we go, and we return. Now, you can carry on doing this just as you are. If you're a sucker for punishment and you want to make it a bit harder, we can grab either your mini band or your looped band. I'm going to hold one side of it on each hand, and then roll back, curve that spine, draw the elbow back. Oh! Be careful not to catapult it, particularly if you've got any pets or onlookers in front of you. They might get a bit of a shock. Well done. Squeeze, roll on back, draw that elbow back as far as we can. It gets much harder if you're using the band as well. Big squeeze back. We've just got 1 more on each side. Big rotation. Up we come, last one. And we return. Fantastic. You'll be pleased to know that's all of the resistance work done now. We're just going to finish off with a bit of a cool down and stretch. I'm going to start off by coming around to lie on your front. Nice straight line here. We're going to put the hands about level with your ears. We're just going to begin by lifting your forehead away from the floor. So don't lift your chin. We want to keep the neck in a straight line, and instead all we've done is just sort of zoom out from the floor. We squeeze the shoulder blades down the back. We're going to press into the hands and peel your body away from the floor up into a cobra stretch. Now this will look very different for different people. Some of us have got super bendy backs and can come a long way from the floor. Other people won't have come so far. All that matters is that you're getting a stretch down the front of your body here. And we'll roll on back down to the floor. So now we're going to do a stretch for the quad or the front of the thigh. So if you just draw your heel in towards your bottom little way, and if you have any lassoing skills, just try and catch your foot either in your mini band or your longer band, and use that to give it a gentle draw on. Now if you've got quite a loose thigh, you might not need the band at all, and you might be able to hold it with your foot or perhaps hook onto your trousers here, make it a little bit easier. But if not, we can lasso that band on. So we're just going to gently draw the heel in towards the bottom. Now where your foot gets to in this stretch will really depend on you, on how you're put together. Might be a little bit further away, or you might find it quite easy to draw it on in. Wherever you've got to, just breathe nice and slowly and try and relax your upper body down to the floor as much as possible. And if you want to make the stretch a little bit deeper, so imagine you've got a 20-pound note here underneath your hip. You're going to try and squeeze it down towards the floor so that that 20-pound note is trapped and could not blow away. So that was just imagining you've got something underneath this hip here. We're going to squash that hip down towards the floor, and hopefully you get a little bit of a deeper stretch down into the thigh. We'll take 1 more breath here. And we're going to release that leg and switch on over to the other side. As you can tell, I'm quite well practiced with these mini bands. Once you've switched on over, then come and join me here on the other leg. We want to make sure the knees are still nice and close together, so make sure your leg hasn't gone out to the side. And just draw that heel on in until you're finding a stretch into the front of that leg. Nice deep slow breaths again. And thinking about pressing the front of that hip bone down into the mat, trapping that 20-pound note underneath the other hip bone there. Nice deep breath. And we'll release. We're just going to spin over now so that you're lying on your back instead. We're going to stretch out the glutes, the bottom muscle now. So you just bend one leg in and cross the ankle over the other knee. So you want to think now about trying to open this knee out nice and wide, nice and far away from you. So you might find that you're already in a stretch in this position, probably stretching into your hip, your glute, maybe a little bit in your lower back. If you need a little bit more though, you can draw both legs in towards you. You could hold on in here, or you can just let gravity do its thing. Whichever version we've got to find a stretch, we're just going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Relax the upper body, the head and neck again. And find wherever it is that's resisting this movement, wherever it is that feels it's being stretched. Breathe nice and deeply into that area. And see if you can just tell those muscles to relax and release a tiny bit more. And we're going to release that foot back down to the floor and switch over to the other side. So crossing the ankle over the knee, opening that knee out nice and wide. Maybe staying here, or maybe drawing the leg a little closer in. Nice and relaxed, deep breaths. So this is a stretch where you really might notice that you're not the same on one side of the body to the other. Most of us aren't, and the hips, the stretches for the hips really show that off. So don't worry if you're a little bit wonky, just find a place on each side which gives you a good level of stretch. And that's absolutely fine if they're not the same. And we'll release from here, 2 feet back down to the floor. So, fantastic job! You've got to the end of this whole body resistance workout. Really well done you. So after you've done this workout a few times and you're starting to feel that your strength is improving, what you could do is do the warm-up section once, do the resistance bit in the middle twice. So that was, you know, that whole hard work bit with the bands. Do that bit twice through, and then finish off with the cool down at the end. And then maybe after you've done that a few times, you could even up it to 3 times through with the resistance section in the middle. Always starting with the warm up and finishing with the cool down. Really well done for today.